was over 100 years ago that a mom in Calgary called Annie Davison thought, we need a public library. And she couldn't convince the elites of Calgary at the time. And she went door to door. They had a plebiscite. Women couldn't vote. She had to go door to door to get men to vote in the plebiscite. Sounds familiar? And that is how we got the beautiful Memorial Park Library, which stands to this day. And this is another step in that evolution. You know, Mayor Brown-Kanye in 2004 set aside a little bit of money to start thinking about what a new library would look like. When I started, one of my very first meetings in 2010 was to say, let's revitalize that dormant project about a new library. The old library has passed its life cycle. It serves far more people than it was designed to build. Last year, 6.8 million people used the library. That is more than all sports, arts, and culture events in Calgary combined. So clearly there's a huge demand here. And we had to figure out how to do it. We had this piece of land that the C train went under. It was a complex piece of land. We had to try and figure out how we would patch together all the funding. We were able to create, using some tax room, Calgary's first ever permanent source for community infrastructure funding, much of which went to the creation of this building. And now, over the last 4 or 5 years, I've been watching this construction every single day. We hired the best library designers in the world to build this thing along with local architects. We had hard-working women and men on this construction site every day using their skills and their sweat and their strong backs to build this thing. And ultimately, what this says to me is that we are a place that doesn't dream small. We are allergic to small dreams, that we will and can be the best in the world and compete with the best in the world. And the most important thing is this place is free and it is open to everyone. Because every single person in our community, rich or poor, having been on this land for thousands of years or arrived last week from a refugee camp, every single one of us deserves beauty, deserves dignity, and deserves a place to launch our own dreams. And that's what we're doing here.
What was your reaction when you came in today and saw the finished product?
So today was the first time I came in. People have been after me to take a tour for weeks and months. I was here when it was still bare bones construction with my hard hat on, but I didn't want to come in because I wanted to walk in today at the first time with all Calgarians and just be raw and real about what this place is and what it means. That may have been a mistake because I barely made it through my speech. I was a bit choked up. But this is a remarkable place. It is a place for everyone, and I hope people love it.
And you know, this library kind of speaks a little bit to the Olympics and the fact that this was many years in the process. It didn't look like at the beginning it was even going to be doable, and yet here we are today, sir.
You know what? I remember a wise man told me this week about an interview he saw with the survivor of a shipwreck. And they said, how did you survive so long? And he said, you know, it was hard to live. It would have been way easier to die. And when we think about what we're building here, we're not building a small, mean city where the potholes are fixed. Luckily, the potholes are fixed. We do that. But we're also building a platform for prosperity for everyone, for a place to grow, a place the economists call the best city in North America to live in. And that's because we're allergic to small dreams. And whether it's this library or an Olympic deal that makes sense for us, these are the dreams we got to grab when we can.